Yes, you join me on a rather discreet vlog today because I'm up very early because I'm having to head from Yorkshire to Swansea to pick up a new second-hand car because that thing there decided to go slightly faulty on me, and it's actually proving cheaper to buy a new second-hand car than get that thing repaired. So my ideas of doing Comic-Con on the cheap is getting even tighter and tighter as we get closer. I'd just be grateful to get on the plane at this point, because the sooner I'm out there, the sooner I'm actually enjoying myself. Right, so this is going to be a very brief vlog, certainly less epic than the one that I posted yesterday. This is the second part of my tour of Comic-Con for beginners. And it's a collection of hints and tips which I can hardly claim to be an authoritative figure on Comic-Con, but I can certainly give one or two ideas of my suggestions of how to make Con go a little bit better for first timers. Right, the first one is orientate yourself. That's pretty much covered. Pretty much covered in yesterday's vlog, because obviously to get an idea of the sense and scale of Comic-Con is essential. So covered mostly in the geography and layout of the land vlog of yesterday, but what I would certainly say to complement that is that if you have a preview night badge, and you can get down to Comic-Con early, do it. Get down there on Wednesday morning and actually see the lay of the land. The thing about preview night is, of course, it's almost just as busy as a full-blown night, so or full-blown day at Comic-Con. So do try and get down there so you can get an idea of how many people you're dealing with. If you don't have a preview night ticket, try and go down anyway, because it'll certainly give you an idea and a sense of what you can expect. So that's number one. Orientate yourself to the sense of scale of what you're going to be expecting. And preview night is certainly helpful to do that, even if you don't have a preview night badge. Number two, try and imagine and prepare yourself for the sheer sense of scale of the whole thing. My wife, Caroline, we went in 2010, our first year, and we separated on that first year because I went into Hall H to see the Tron Legacy panel. Caroline decided to hit the exhibition floor. We finally caught up with each other after a very long day, 3:30. It was above Hall H by the pavilion at the back of, above Hall H, at the back of the hall of the convention centre, and she pretty much was in the fetal position. She was rocking backwards and forwards, she was growling slightly, she was still very rather angry and frustrated, because to have that many people, especially on an exhibition floor, barge into you, bump into you, elbow you as they're kind of get in the way, getting through the exhibition floor. It's very, very difficult to deal with if you're not comfortable, or if you haven't experienced that many people in one room at that time. It's very, very difficult to understand if you haven't experienced it yourself. So try and imagine what that's going to be like, and try and get used to the idea that there's going to be that many people in the room. If anything, try and contribute to a slightly better experience. If you do bump into somebody, say sorry. If someone bumps into you, say excuse me, or just kind of be nice to everyone. You never know. If you start doing it, maybe other people will start as well, and it'll catch on like wildfire. Common courtesy. Who knows? We may just start a trend. So number two is prepare for the scale. Number three, don't be afraid to explore. If it gets too much, step away. San Diego is a truly gorgeous city. I would heartily recommend heading out into Gaslamp, finding one or two of the tourist traps around San Diego, of which there are plenty. There's a post by Comic-Con International about what is changed in San Diego. I'm certainly looking forward to seeing what's happening. Certainly down at the marina, the headquarters look very nice, and there's a couple of very big tourist spots around San Diego. I would heartily recommend them. The Midway is sounds a bit dry and militaristic, but it's a great museum and a fantastic piece of industrial architecture. It's as a feat of engineering, it's impressive. So don't be afraid to explore. Okay, if you are going on your own, okay, a couple of tips here. Relax. You are in the company of some of the most welcoming and friendly people on the surface of the planet. There's nothing more embracing than a Comic-Con crowd, and they are just going to be, they'll be more than willing to accept if you are wanting to step back, if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed. No one is going to blame or judge you for that, because everyone experienced Comic-Con like that for the first time. So chill out, because they are great people around you, and they are your tribe. So they are the people who will look after you. Okay. They are great people around you, and they are your tribe. So they are the people who will look after you. Okay. If you are going as a group, however, especially if you're going with kids, do your best to arrange times for meeting up, communication. If there's because the one thing about the convention center is, while the exhibition floor doesn't have any Wi-Fi at all, so if you're using Skype or Messenger to communicate, or even cell reception is very poor. So don't forget to think that, keep that in mind when you're preparing, when you're going as a group. Do arrange places to meet up and times to meet up if you can. I would personally suggest inside the exhibition floor on the outer corridor, as you come through into the off the street of Balboa into the exhibition center. I would suggest entrance E, halfway down. Because it's right in the center, you get to see the whole of Comic-Con kind of passing backwards and forwards. Some great photo opportunities as well. I mean, I've got one which I'll just put in the corner here of Darth Vader and Galactus, true world destroyers. That was a entrance E moment for me. So arrange for a time, 5:30, 6 o'clock, once the exhibition is finished. Perhaps people have done their panels. It certainly helps when you've got very little in the range of communication, because it can just get very lost in the mix. Even if you do have good cell coverage, even you may need to turn your cell phone off, or you just make sure that you have something predetermined. Entrance E is a good start. Okay. Let's go inside and let's go for another tip. Like I say, these are in no specific order, and it's got to be said, there's a whole host of tip videos and tip articles out there. These are just a couple, just ideas thrown off the top of my head. The next one, don't eat the food. Inside the convention center, it's overpriced. It's not fantastic quality. It's full of sugar. It's just really kind of bad for you. What I would recommend, if you can, head into Gaslamp or into San Diego, go to Ralph's, go to Subway, go to anywhere that you can get something that you can throw in the backpack, but I'd certainly avoid the food inside the convention center. Who knows? It may have improved in 2014, and I'll send somebody to check that out and see if that's the case. Whether I'll eat anything of it is unlikely. I'll judge from a distance, but who knows, it may have improved. You can only hope. Forewarned is forearmed. Absolutely. The online community post which I did for the website a month or so back, I keep looking at that and keep adding to it as well. It's worthwhile just kind of having a look through all the internet bits and pieces for ideas and tips. just take them all on board. Write them down. Write the ones that you think, oh, that's a good idea. And make a nice little list for yourself, just so you've got it in the back of your head. I suppose it's experience at the end of the day. Dive in, by all means. It is something where it feels like it's a leap of faith, but it really isn't, because you'll discover that the water's lovely, and you are going to have one hell of a time. I'd also keep a lookout for the Comic-Con tips of the day as well, the toucan tips, which are currently being posted as well on a daily basis at the moment. Fantastic tips. And not only that, it comes from Comic-Con themselves, and who knows the con better than Comic-Con International. So I'd certainly look at the toucan tips. I'll put the link in the description below. And last but not least, arm yourself. There's a whole shopping list of things that people are recommending that you take with you. And it's true. If you have the right backpack on you, and you have the right things in that backpack, you can be a little bit more prepared for Comic-Con. So, here's my 3. Number 1, good footwear. Always. That's tip number 1, without a shadow of a doubt. You are going to be walking a fair old distance, and your feet are going to take one hell of a hammering. Make sure they're good footwear, comfortable, have insoles in them. Just make sure that your feet are in the best condition they possibly can. When I describe Comic-Con as a marathon at sprint level for 4 days, I do kind of mean it. And you ask any experienced runner or walker, the footwear is always the first thing. It needs to be done right. Do try and invest in a decent pair of shoes for the con. Number 2, let's see what I've got. Yes, deodorant. It's deceptively close inside. It can be gum. Always good to keep the Comic-Con funk to a minimum. If you can contribute to that, to kind of keeping the Comic-Con funk down, by all means, do it. So gum and deodorant, that's certainly a good one. And last but not least, I'm just trying to work out if I've got one here, or have I already packed it already. A refillable water bottle. Now, you can get these at most camping stores, and you can also get them at a number of bigger supermarkets as well. Brita filter, or filtered water bottles, which means you can then fill up from any tap in the convention centre or any hotel nearby. You're not having to buy bottles of water, and you can just go off to the restroom, the bathroom, fill up, and you have a filtered bottle of water. Hydration is absolutely a key. It's back to the running analogy again. It's certainly, for me, essential. And I've got 2 of them. They are going to be in my bag, and they'll be part of my armoury. Absolutely. Right, okay. 3 weeks to go. We actually fly out in 2 weeks' time, or less than 2 weeks now. A week and a half. We're actually spending a week before San Diego Comic-Con in San Diego, because we actually want to take a time to have a look at the city. Like we say, it's a gorgeous place. We want to see more of it than just inside Hall H and inside the exhibition floor and inside a panel room. We'd actually like to go back to California with a tan. I remember 2 years ago when England happened to enjoy a very bright, warm heat wave, and we were inside the exhibition centre, and we came back from California with no tan, and the English people did have a tan, and I felt a little bit gypped and bitter there. So no, I want to get a bit of a tan. No, we'll be enjoying San Diego. Hopefully your preparations are going well. I'm going to do another vlog tomorrow on Friday, once I've gotten back from this drive that I've got to do. And it's going to be on the news of the week, and also of the off-site events. I suspect, because there's been a number that have been announced, including Geek and Sundry, so I don't want to talk about those. Right, hopefully I will speak to you tomorrow as we do our 3rd of 3 vlogs for the week. And I spoiling you. Take care.